I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and with me today is an extremely special guest, a former Mindsport athlete and a retired Mindsport athlete is correct, and in my view, the best player in the Western Hemisphere, Melvin Quaresma. Hi, Melvin.
Hello, everyone. I wish good things to you who's watching. I was missing this a lot. The famous phrase from Alexei.
Oh, I appreciate that so much. So Brazil is playing today. Obviously, this will not be an impartial stream. I'm gonna give the context for the stream a little bit later. Let's just dive into the games. You can see all the pairings on the screen, and without you, Melvin, I already decided that we're gonna start with Gustavo Arruda because, because he's a very strong player, has a very strong opponent. So this actually is gonna be the highest level duel out of all of them.
Okay, actually, that would be my choice as well.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, and for everybody who's just joining, some brief info. It's round one of the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship. It is Group F, Brazil versus Argentina. Best of 3, 15 minutes per game per side. All your usual rules. The games have started a few minutes ago. And Gustavo here is playing his traditional blue meeples. Melvin, have you opened the game? Do you see what's going on? And
I'm opening right.
okay. And the Argentinian opponent, Webby, is playing his... I'm not sure if it's traditional or not, but he's playing red. And this is already a very interesting position. It's completely equal, 21 points per side. I think a slight missed opportunity here from Gustavo. I'm very surprised that he didn't drop a farmer here, because this farm... Yeah, you were thinking, yeah, because it's just such an unblockable way to go here or here. A lot of fun. Anyway, yeah, red actually is doing pretty well. I mean, Gustavo now meeples a 5-point monastery, but red has an 8-point monastery. He also has a city which is about to finish. Gustavo, however, with an extra meeple. So, who do you prefer to play in this position, Melvin?
I think red has a better position right now with a nice city there and a monastery that it will be easily free. Then I would prefer to be in a Webby positions right now. I don't know if you agree with me, but Arruda has a lot of meeples in hand, so he can still work on something. Actually, it's very common to Arruda to develop the game later. It's something that I always talk to him, how he waits and waits and waits, and it gives me goosebumps. I think this is the name in English because I don't like it. I like to use meeples a lot in the beginning, but well, I think it's balanced. I prefer red, but it's balanced.
Yeah, well, now it's a bit less balanced after Webby got some of his meeples blocked. Let me just also make this full screen. Yeah. No. After Gustavo got some of his meeples blocked, so this here move with the cow was kind of painful. I mean, it is blocking against Webby's monastery, so that's sort of okay. And we'll also see that finally Gustavo is attacking the field, maybe something that he could have done a little bit earlier. And he's attacking the field again, but he is building up Webby's monastery in the process. And Webby actually could, in theory, just block this field invasion, so red could easily go here, build up the monastery on the right, add a point, and then set up a curve that would block his own monastery, but also would block the blue farmer. But then I'm not sure if he wants to do this, because, you know, imagine if red blocks the square, and then what could happen later? Maybe Gustavo goes here, takes 3 points, and then gets the dagger over here and connects like this, and all the way through Red City manages to penetrate all the way there. So this begs the question from as Gustavo, do you actually even try and block the square next to your monastery?
Um, Look, I'm not playing since November. To be very honest to you, it's hard for me to follow the game right now. I'm just watching and coming back because I'm not lying. I'm really out of Carcassonne. People think I'm lying, but I'm not. So I'm watching and just waiting to see what people do.
Oh, that's okay,
Honestly,
Melvin.
I'm
That's okay. I can explain you the rules. So it works like this. So both sides have 7 meeples, and you can put meeples on castles, and then they give you points.
thank you very much. Yeah,
It's
that
it,
was
it's a
good.
rather simple game. So on the box they say that the minimal age for the game is 8. So I'm
That's good. That's good.
anyway. So like for any question that you might have, I'm happy to help you. Now, the question that I asked you
Thanks.
actually was already answered. So this square was not blocked. Webby, I presume, saw the opportunity of Gustavo trying to go all the way here and just didn't bother. And Gustavo managed to successfully connect the field, very close to gaining a majority. This farmer on the left is pretty much guaranteed to connect either through one of the 6 remaining curves or in the disaster scenario where blue doesn't draw any curve, then blue, of course, can still go here with a straight line. So that's kind of guaranteed. And we have 3 blue farmers versus 2 red farmers heading for an interesting imbalance. I'm just talking, Melvin, so that you can catch up with the position. I'm just stalling for time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no worries. Now I be well gets the crossword. Oh, wait a second. Boo and Balu. Um, what do you think about the last move by Ahude? Oh no, it was great. He defended the monastery
Yeah,
and the city at the same time. Yeah, it was really good.
yeah, that all worked, but the problem is that Webby is quite far ahead on the scoreboard already, just building those cities, building the monasteries, and it looks like we were at least headed for a typical imbalance where one side takes control of the field. In that case, that's Gustavo, and the other side just keeps scoring. The problem with this here situation is that now that Webby got all his meeples back, he can actually fight for the field if he so chooses and still preserve his scoreboard lead.
Yeah. And now he is going probably to annoy Ahude's city just like this. Yes.
Yeah, he
Okay, I
has
remember.
to. Oh, you remember. So, because the concept
Yeah.
of an invasion. So, if you put a meeple on a small city next to your opponent's bigger city, then you can later merge them with a Dorito tile, and then they later share the points.
How many curves in stock? One, uma, duas, três, quatro. Oh, a lot of curves yet. So, Webby can guarantee this farmer, right? By the right side, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yes. Wait, 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 wait. But why? Like, but Webby doesn't even care about the farm. That's the thing. So Webby's 18 points ahead,
Yeah,
and the farm is worth
you're
18
right.
points.
You're right. You're
So
right. He can do only 4 quick points on up or something else.
yeah. So I would assume just 3 quick points next to his monastery, right? That's kind of
Yeah,
seems
three
like the
quick
way to
points.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Besson said, vai Brasil. Vamos Besson. Vamos. Why Besson is not playing, Alexei? Is he playing bad as usual or something else?
Probably, yeah. So I think it is a deep mistrust from Gustavo Arruda, the team captain, because we don't know what that guy is capable on. These São Paulo people, they're very unreliable. I would presume this is the reason. Anyway,
Um, Not kidding. Explaining the last move by Webby um with the curve. I mean,
I
um,
Yeah, I've no idea. Maybe it is like to limit the potential of the field for some reason. Oh, okay, maybe it's like three-dimensional Carcassonne. So the idea is maybe this, that red is looking for a Dorito over here at the bottom, and red is looking to drop a farmer to equalize the field. And then red decided in advance that he wants to close off further field reinvasion opportunities for the future situation where he gets a Dorito on the bottom and equalizes the farm. So this is my only explanation. Now, this does
okay.
not change the fact that this move is incorrect, and it's so deeply incorrect that it could end up costing Webby the game. The reason
Yeah.
is, well, because it sacrifices 3 points for no reason, and it actually sacrifices 3 points because Gustavo was able to use the city tile and score the 3 points himself. Also, we see now that Gustavo is now completely blocking Red's monastery over here, so this square is never going to be filled, this guy never seeing the light of day, and these 3 points actually matter a lot because now that their difference on the scoreboard is 15 points and not 18, we are in a situation where the scoreboard difference is less than the difference on the field. So this means that if Gustavo wins the field now, he can actually win the game. Now, we can see that Webby equalized, and the field is now shared. Well, it's not shared yet, but we presume that Gustavo's going to connect over here on the left, so we can just might as well count this meeple. So the field is now shared, but if Gustavo, for example, goes right now here to reinvade at the top, or even here to reinvade at the bottom whilst also completing the city, although he chooses to do something different, which is pretty interesting. He places his last meeple on the road, looking for a crossroads, just wants to catch up on the scoreboard, then maybe finish this city cap, and then maybe invade the field later. That's the plan. So anyway, all of that is going to happen, and this leads us to a situation where Gustavo has a reasonable win condition, so he could catch up on the scoreboard and then win the field with a simple majority, and this should be enough to win because Webby's scoreboard lead is just not enough to outrun the field of his opponent.
Afonso said something very important in the comments. He said that he balanced the field. Now left is for blue and the right field is for red. That is amazing because it's only 3 points difference, right? 3-6 those kings, 3-6 those. Yeah, it's yeah. It's good that now red takes advantage in the side of the field, and the other one is for Huda. He has plenty of advantage in the scoreboard, and this is good.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah,
what?
Juan said the same. He separates the fields and takes the other. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it really doesn't. No, it doesn't do anything. The separation of the fields, because look at this. It's only so the main field. Okay, now it's not 18. It's 15 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. And the secondary field has all the same cities plus an extra one. So really what this move did was just reducing the size of the main field by 3 points, because eventually Gustavo can fight for the field on the right as well and equalize it. So it's really not that big of a difference, and Webby was definitely better off just taking the 3 points. At least, but I understand the idea now. It's not as far-fetched as I was describing before. So indeed, thanks, Juan Alfonso. Yeah, Gustavo is now fighting for the field on the left still. He will also be fighting for the field on the right as well. But basically, it's a bit too long to explain, but the total number of meeples that blue needs to invest in order to win this game does not really change, depending
Okay,
on...
now, right? Probably. I don't know.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, so we see that this move from Webby taking 2 points, it's killed off the best invasion spot for that farm. So Gustavo finally connects his leftmost meeple. His rightmost meeple is looking to be soon connected as well. But Webby takes 8 points for the city, and this should be all she wrote.
Actually, Gustavo could have take this city before. I think it would be better than freeing the meeples. And but well,
But
at least
Gustavo
now he
didn't have
has.
meeples. Gustavo was
No,
meepleless.
he had it before. He could take this point when he closed the city. He had one meeple in hand, I think.
Gotcha,
No,
gotcha. I don't think so,
maybe.
but hardly matters
Okay.
now. But you know what? What's happening now? So Gustavo's down 21 on the scoreboard, and Webby has 2 monasteries. But Gustavo has the lead on the leftmost field for 18 points with 6 completed castles on it. Not easy to reinvade, and Gustavo has one shot and one shot only. The way how I can see him at least making a decent number of points is going over here at the top with the curve and hoping for the last right-handed dagger, which is still remaining, that would enable him to connect to the rightmost field for 12 points. And even then, he's going to still be a little bit behind, but that's really his only chance. And I think he has to do it pretty much right now, really. I don't think he can even afford to finish his road. He has to go here, invade the field, and then free up his meeple a little bit later with a different curvy tile, such as the road Dorito. Because if Gustavo doesn't do this now, Webby with a simple straight line, which is still remaining in the deck, can go over here and just block off the final connection opportunity. And with 6 meeple on the clock, I have no doubts that Gustavo can see this option. In the meantime, it's a question for you, Melvin. So once that you have retired... Huh?
Is it possible to Huda to overcome the game? It's an honest question because I don't play since a long time and my habit isn't good.
I think the answer is
If
yes.
if he invades using a dagger, it's available. No, not available. No, it's not possible.
Wait,
No
but...
daggers.
No, there is... What am I
Wait.
not seeing?
Baixo esquerda. One baixo esquerda.
Baixo esquerda, yes, or the right-handed dagger.
Okay. So if he invades using the dagger, then free his meeples on the road, and then invades it again somewhere I can't see.
I don't think he
So
has to invade. I don't think he has to invade, no? Because check this out. So we go here, like right now. Then we get something like a... I'm not sure if there are any other curvy tiles. Yeah, he goes for it. That's an excellent move from Gustavo, but Webby gets one of the super valuable curves. And Gustavo needed to have the meeple right now. He really, really needed to have that curve.
Yeah.
Ay. Well, what can he do? Oh, I know. How about... No, I don't know. I really don't. Just take 1 point for the city, I guess.
Yeah.
He's gonna get blocked a little bit by Webby, I presume. Yeah, the dagger will not be enough. He will need... Yeah, he just needed to get his meeple back, really. And Webby gets the dagger anyway. And it's gonna be GG. Still props for Gustavo for fighting until the end. Like, many expert players would not have noticed this, or would have just succumbed to despair. Yeah, and Webby now gets a city cap. Yeah, this position looked really grim. Really, really grim. Five extra points for the Argentinian. And Gustavo just discards his tile. So let's try and think what would have happened if Gustavo were to get his dagger. So you would have had 12 more for the field connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would not have been enough. He would need a series of miracles which weren't really possible because you see, like in these endgame scenario, we always think what our protagonist needs, but we kind of forget that our antagonist is going to draw some tiles, and with so many city caps available, Red would just free up his city and maybe take a small field or do what he did in the game. So it appeared that it was not possible to win after all, despite all those wonderful field efforts, and yeah, the power of the monasteries strikes again. 1 point for the Argentinian. Let's now see how the others are doing real quick. Are you happy to proceed with the same duel, Melvin?
Yeah, yeah, it's up to you, Alexei. I'm just checking out the games. Mijuto lost the first one to Big Nine. And what else we have?
And
Is
Lucas
that so?
Garbim lost to Mati Cariso, and Nitrom, that's Kawa, winning against Santiago Iniguez on table 4. So far, everything's pretty much going according to what I had predicted. The player who is in better shape keeps winning, but I would expect really a tight battle on all the tables. So one thing that I have, I'm not sure if you're seeing this, I'm using the scoreboard from Carcassonne.gg. So this one has automatic updates.
Okay, Zedson lost. Oh my God. Oh, Brazil.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just don't think about it. We're focusing on this game. Gustavo Arruda's playing the
Let-
blue meeples. Now he's going to have the starting player advantage, but Webby already took 4 points for this city right in the center. But a great tile for Gustavo that manages to consolidate his monastery, pre-finish his road, and continue his city at the bottom, which is going to be attacked by Webby soon enough. But regardless, this looks like a good position for blue, mainly because of the 5-point monastery in the center, which is controlling a lot of space, as well as Webby's unappealing looking 2-point road. An invasion does happen. Blue gets a clunky tile, kinda. Interesting idea to start the field here. Webby immediately uses one of the city caps to capitalize with 4 points, but Gustavo uses the other one, threatens a 6-point city, giving Webby a difficult choice. So, as Red, do you prefer, Melvin, going here at the top and equalizing Gustavo's city, playing your meeple majority, not allowing Gustavo to finish a 6-pointer, or doing what Webby just did?
What he did, because it caused more problems. Now Arruda needs to take care about the double blocking, and Webby closed one more city. Now he can invade the farm, and I think it's a better move. I don't know if you agree with me, but
Oh no,
that would be my choice.
I profoundly disagree. But as you are my special guest, I prefer your insight. Yeah. So the reason why I disagree, I think that the double blocking that you're saying is just not that dangerous because there's still plenty of tiles that fit into that square.
Yeah.
But we can see that Webby manages to have his cake and eat it too, so Gustavo was not able to successfully finish his city at the top, and with the clunky giraffe's neck, Red managed to avert a disaster, but Gustavo successfully finished his monastery, so that's something, and still, very good position for Blue. Pretty much completely equal at the moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Blue is winning for some point, but it's balanced, yes.
Yeah.
Now Webby has a great chance to disturb Gustavo's road. Well, two baixo direitas, yeah, but he can, yeah, he did it.
Oh, really? I'm a bit surprised. So it kind of makes sense, but Do you like this move?
It's a week. Because now Gustavo can take it and take the city after the city in the same move.
Yeah.
And it's a good city.
Exactly, yeah. So you know what Webby could have done? He could have done the same thing, but meepling the city. That would have been so much stronger.
But we know the city, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually quite an instructive moment because with this 4-pointer, you can have such a flexible game. You can just build up a huge ruin and block the square, or even better, you can like build it up with a couple Doritos, and then you can have the winning mini battle because I have more points in the city, and then you can force Gustavo try to go here and block his own road just to not allow Red to finish his city. So I think a missed opportunity for Webby. But you know what's done is done. Now he probably needs to follow up. So the question is, Melvin, do we want to go right here as red, trying to draw a straight line and block the square completely, or we want to maybe just get it over with our field connection like he did right now, and then try to delay the block for a little bit later?
I'm trying to follow you on the screen.
No.
You pointed something?
I mean, I did point at something, but just don't follow me on the screen. You can watch in your own thing, because I'm streaming with a delay on
Okay.
purpose.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
It
no, no, no,
makes
no
sense.
worries, no worries, no worries. And I
Okay, so
trust.
please repeat the question. So please repeat the question. You were saying, and I was trying to follow the screen. I
Oh
forgot it
yeah,
was delayed.
it really sort of doesn't. Well, it's kind of like Webby gave the answer anyway, so Webby connected to the farm, right? But
Yeah.
another option was to try and go and block the square permanently. But I think what Webby knew is that he won't have to block this because he's just going to draw one of the daggers, and then this road is looking
Yeah.
much sadder.
Whoa.
And Webby's also ahead on the scoreboard now, as he is trying to maybe get himself a Dorito tile and a triple city and eat up a 16-pointer. Surely that Gustavo's not going to allow him to do it that easily. It's still possible with a Dorito with a road and a triple city with a road, but now it is much harder because there are only 2 Doritos with a road remaining, 2 triple cities remaining, plus Gustavo is going to go at the top and try to block this here square permanently. Webby now with a city cap, and this is actually a strategically important decision. So Webby must be thinking here that his meeple situation is looking very good, because Gustavo is super unlikely to finish his road, and even if he does so, he's going to do it super late. But I think Webby now failed to capitalize on this, a move which I would have much better preferred. Instead of building a new city over here, building a new city somewhere here in the shared field, trying to capitalize on his meeple advantage, create a big field, and try to drop a second farmer and overtake the field and bully Gustavo with his meeple majority. Instead, Red starts a counter field on the right, which is a decent thing to do, but I think it's a bit of a missed potential here. Now, Webby will kind of be forced to fight for 2 fields, really. And somehow Gustavo has the meeple advantage. Although Webby is drawing successfully, managing to get a monastery, now also finishing a super dangerous city. Gustavo's now has a dangerous city of his own. He's about to get blocked, so he has to really go here. Well, what he did right now. Webby is going to go over here without meeple, probably developing his new field and also putting additional pressure on Gustavo's city. Gustavo now with a triple city, plenty of options. He chooses to make something that I'm not a huge fan of, but that's okay. That's okay. He's trying to invade the field through Red's monastery. And he played this move very quickly. I'm so really not sure about his time management. Do you like this move, Melvin, or would he have done something differently? Maybe some sort of blocky move or an invasion move?
I like this move. Well, I think Ahoda needs to to take this farm after all. 9 points, and again the monastery making difference and delaying the development of this city that would be easily closed. But maybe it would be better to not spend a meeple right now and wait a little bit to still take advantage of the advantage of meeples. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't hate this move, but maybe it would not be my choice.
Yeah, I mean it's a reasonable move to make, but it's not a move that you make in 1 second. Because it's like whenever you commit a farmer, it's a strategic choice. That farmer is never ever coming back. And the urgency of that field was actually not great because this is one 9 point field, but there's another 9 point field at the bottom. So he can, and there are plenty of invasion spots over here, and it doesn't really matter which field you invade, the top field or the bottom field, you score 9 points either way. And now also Gustavo committed his farmer here, and he will be forced to continue Red's monastery upon invasion. So that's kind of a little bit awkward. Players exchange quick points. Gustavo is now crawling his way back on the scoreboard, but Webby's building up his monastery and also putting pressure on Gustavo's city at the top. It's a very double-edged game at the moment.
Well, now Webby can kind of defend himself, right? On the city.
But I'm thinking if he
I
should,
think
because
it's the
there's still two, how do you call them, two starting tiles available.
initial yeah, yeah, two starting tiles, and even more of this because one crossroad, one by yeah, 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 two, yeah, yeah. I think it's better. Oh, Ahuda just okay.
With the content move, right? This is not what I would have done. It's definitely interesting. So he's trying to finish, a 6 point city together with Webby's monastery, places as last meeple. But I would have preferred a different move here. I would have, as Gustavo, probably just continued the city at the top, threatening its immediate completion, using the fact that Webby does not have too many meeples and it's difficult for him to invade, and also maybe create a
Yeah,
blocking platform against Red's monastery, because Blue's ideal
yeah, yeah.
scenario,
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
is invading the field, but also not finishing Webby's monastery. And now, I mean, Blue invades the field, and Blue gets an 8 point city, but Webby also gets a monastery meeple back, and Webby has 6 points extra on the scoreboard, and an extra meeple to play with. And Gustavo's city is actually looking kind of dangerous. Not kind of dangerous, but really dangerous, because there are no dagger tiles remaining, at least no right-handed dagger tiles, which means that if Webby gets any curvy tile and goes over here, then this meeple will be permanently trapped, and surely this should spell a instant loss for Gustavo.
well, Ahuda has 3 points advantage, but one meeple less, what means that Webby right now has a better position in general. Of course, it depends on the cities that can be closed, but well, Webby is in a very good position now with the disadvantage of meeples, right?
Yeah, and he has like so many choices. Probably the most flexible approach is just scoring 2 points somewhere. He could also get greedy with the monastery, perhaps, but there is no real reason to. I kind of like being flexible with the meeple majority. If he wants to go for decisive action, he could just drop a farmer over here, trying to connect to a 12 point field, either through here or through here. That's also another option. Yeah, what do you
I
prefer here,
agree. I
Melvin?
agree. I would just go for the 12 points farm. Ahuda can't fight for it right now, and there are plenty of tiles to help him to invade it. Yeah, I would definitely go to the farm, but well, I'm out of shape, so maybe I'm not making the best choices. But I like invading just like this. Yes, yes, just like this, just like this.
So I see. This is how you're just trying to help your Brazilian teammate by giving advice to the Argentinian. Okay, that makes sense. And he bites. He takes the bait.
Okay, YB now can um delay the development, maybe somehow, I don't know, one, two, three, four.
Yeah, he just has to
Not that
invade.
much.
Like, he just has to invade. Because, like, if
Yeah,
Gustavo finishes the city, then Gustavo wins.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. He
this is
needs to
an
invade it.
this is a game decisive feature, basically. So he's probably deciding whether to invade from the left or from the right. Yeah, and it's absolutely the situation we have to spend the last meeple. Gustavo gets his last dagger, and that's his fantastic news. Also, this is how important it is to recognize the threat from your opponent. There was no time for horsing around with 2 points over here. Webby successfully prevented the completion of the city. Had this meeple not been here, Gustavo would have finished his city for 14 points, dropped to farmer, gained equality on the field, and won the game. But now, Gustavo gets the last dagger, and he now has a chance to recover his road, which is huge. There's still 2 crossroads remaining, and if he gets just 1 meeple back, then he can still fight for either the top field or even the bottom field, which is really almost just as good. Webby, with a quadruple city tile, needs to decide whether to invade right now or invade later, really, or just build on his own side and taking inspiration from the 2016 world champion Vladimir Kovalev.
The problem now is that, well, this invasion delays it a lot, the possible closing of this castle, something that is likely to not happen. But I didn't see an easy meeple coming back to blue. Maybe only with the Doritos with road, and we have just one, right?
Yeah, so here, this of course would be finishing the shared city. But then even if Red gets the Dorito of the road, I think Red is just kind of wants to try and finish this city, perhaps? Which looks kind of dangerous, honestly. So it's very interesting. The situation is Webby's ahead 6 points on the scoreboard, which actually is entirely compensated by this road, and Webby's ahead 12 points on the field, but Gustavo has the ultimate meeple advantage, 1 versus 0, and he can just get lots of quick points. And maybe a plan for Gustavo is something like take a lot of quick points, try to finish the road, or at least prolong it, and then at the very last moment of the game, either try to invade the 12-point field on the right or the 9-point field at the bottom.
Or the 10-point city up. That would be enough.
Oh, right. Yeah, and maybe this is something that Gustavo is considering even right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh my God! I said something nice. I'm glad about that.
I know. Yeah, it's just time to come
about...
back to your addiction and start playing again with 5 accounts, right?
Let's see. Now,
by the way, whilst Gustavo is adding 2 points to his bottom city and Webby is thinking what to do with this extender tile, we have some outrageous accusations in the chat who are saying that this is not the real Melvin, this is an AI generated voice. So to prove them wrong, Melvin, can you say something that only the real Melvin would know?
Okay, let me think a little bit. Let me think a little bit. Only Melvin would know. Oh, I know something, but it's gossip, and it's really deep gossip, and it would not be good for your viewers. So I will keep quiet about that. It's better. It's better. It's better to not prove I am Melvin.
Okay, well, excellent output to the prompt that I just gave you. So then maybe in case, let me just show you, I'm going to drag the image of Melvin back into the camera just for a second. If I can find it, actually. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. Here's just some temporary Melvin for you. There we go. Temporary Melvin saying hello. Because this stream was so spontaneous, I can't really maintain this image for a long time. All right, time to go back
but
off
it's
screen.
it's deep fake. It's not my real face, probably.
Of course, of course. But
Okay,
plot
now
twist. Plot
Huda.
twist. Melvin is real, but Alexei isn't. Who, you didn't think of this possibility?
Can Ahuda invade this farm somehow in using the city?
Well, yes, but does he have
Would
to?
no, yeah, maybe not, because um maybe not. Yes. He can win it just by invading the ruin up, maybe. One, two, one, two. Yeah, maybe. Dois, dois, três, quatro, cinco, seis, sete, oito, nove, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, Afonso in the chat is suggesting that Gustavo invade the ruin right now and then just wait for a crossroads to free up his roads a little bit later.
I agree. I agree.
So this is something that definitely could work, but one thing that Blue needs to be wary about is the possibility of Red completing the city, because I see that there is a crossroads still available for this square, what we now call the butterfly tile. And,
Yeah.
oh, but there's no city cap to go here. That's fascinating. Oh, no, there is. The Chubors. The giraffe splitter.
Well, I'm counting the tiles very slow, and I think Afonso is right about the invasion. Actually, these guys from Portugal, they know a lot about invading. I don't know if you agree with me. Well, that's 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 something that proves that I'm Melvin. And yeah, I
Yes.
agree with my friend.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. Let's go with it. Oh, sorry, my Portuguese friends.
No, 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 no. You can't take it back. But please, this is the kind of stuff that I invite you, because I have to like keep my friendly exterior, but my guests are completely unfiltered. Yeah, so you can just always say the unsavory jokes that I'm thinking in my mind. By the
Oh,
way,
Afonso just said that if Webby wins, it's game for Argentina, so it makes it even more important. Let's. I think Ahuda is going to invade up.
yeah,
Yeah, and he did it. Yeah.
excellent choice, but I'm actually really impressed that he took his time, because I know that Gustavo was really good at these pre-endgame situations. So he was trying to calculate blocking opportunities. He was trying to. Oh, and he successfully
Did
completes the
it.
invasion. But Webby
And
gets
now
the last city cap.
now it's
And now I think we're flipping for the crossroads, really. So, oh, this is
yeah,
such an interesting possibility.
yeah.
Okay, what's gonna happen? Wait, so Gustavo's probably going to continue his city on the left, because there's not a real chance of him continuing the city on the right anyway. He finds something better, but he's not gonna be successful, as Webby probably gonna invade the city at the bottom, or I'm not sure. Webby's also very deep in time trouble. Only 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, whether Gustavo has 4 minutes and 40 seconds, which should be enough to solve this endgame. But basically, a
Maybe
lot.
Wipe is going to make Gustavo waste on the city cap with Crossroad too, and not
Yeah.
depend on the Crossroad. I think the Crossroad is just the key tile for both.
I think so. I think that could actually really, really work. Yeah, this probably is better than really any other move. Well, there is a bit of an issue. So if you go over here, and he does this, yeah, I was gonna say that Gustavo can draw this here tile to continue his road anyway, and Gustavo answered instantly, Webby with a tile which he cannot do, but Gustavo gets the crossroads anyway, and the game will continue.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, and Gustavo even can invade the field for good measure. Not that he has to, but that will be something fun. With 4 minutes on the clock and 2 tiles remaining in the deck, it's super easy endgame to solve. He's ahead on the scoreboard, 7 points, and he has more points on the board anyway because Red did not manage to connect his 3-point city at the bottom to the 6-point city of Gustavo. So I'm talking about this here mini battle on this side of the board. Yeah, and it's just a matter of simple calculation, which I'm going to leave it up to the Brazilian. I'm not even going to bother. And Gustavo decided to not even bother. Well, some slight imprecision perhaps. He's gonna take 3 points instead of 4. I'm not sure how forgivable that mistake is, but you know, you decide, Melvin.
No, it's okay. No problem.
It actually makes sense, because if you know that you're winning the game with a 100% chance, it makes sense to save the brain power for something else, for the decider game.
I totally agree. Yeah, it makes a lot of difference. So it's better to save the brain. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? Same game or another one?
Do we have an option? I think we have to watch the decider. Like it's all about the narrative, you know. It's all about the narrative. We gotta stay here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just briefly update the scoreboard, and then we're gonna.
Okay.
Then we're gonna see how Brazil is doing. Okay. I guess hanging by a thread, if comments are to be believed. Yeah, Argentina 2, Brazil 0. This is the situation. And Edson is suffering against El Pitufo Dado Vuelta. But Kawa Night Realm is still hanging in against Sunny Blader. Is it worth looking at them first, maybe? How the 16-year-old...
Which ones?
Well, I guess Kawa is... No. I want to... No, never mind. I'm just going to open the... Well, actually, no, it looks horrible. Let's just forget about this. Let's just forget about this. Where I'm not going to show you. Hope you didn't see nothing. Don't look at the other games, Melvin. Just don't. Webby versus Gustavo. This is what we're focusing on. Just I said don't.
But
I said don't.
Okay. I'm opening Gustavo again.
Yes, and look at this. Gustavo is doing pretty well. He's the starting player again, and he is ahead with the city. Webby's just getting measly curves, trying to attack unsuccessfully. So all is well. All is well. Also, one piece of life wisdom that I got is that if somebody else, like if a person whom I trust tells me that it is better that I don't know something, like I believe that it is better that I don't know something, and then I just don't put my nose where it does not belong. Okay, so well, Gustavo is starting a new road. Webby's trying to harass Gustavo's city, and now he can actually put a lot of trouble. So yeah, this is an annoying move.
Well, two baixos direitos, yeah.
Indeed, 2 tiles, so good chances for Gustavo to finish it. But you see, I still like Webby's move for Webby because 25% of the time, red draws both of these tiles, and then blue's game is kind of destroyed, really.
Hmm. Now Webby can make a double invasion or just take another city.
I probably prefer the double
What's the
invasion,
best?
but like
Yeah,
it's
because
super
he created.
close. Yeah, because of this, right? Yeah, so this option, he's exerting a secondary pressure spot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good.
Alrighty. So, well, Webby didn't listen to us, and they get the punishment. They get their city almost blocked. Although these are some strong words, but it's unpleasant to endure. And also, there's
Maybe would for this straight road, Webby sharing this road. Do you think it's good? Because well, two it's too much in my opinion. 75% of chances of
yeah,
Ahuda getting at least one. Of course, he will do that. And considering that it's obvious and it's such a great road, okay, he did it.
yeah, and look
Yeah,
at the
and
perfect
Ahuda now.
timing. Yeah, look at the perfect timing. So Webby was prescient, and
Hmm.
the one downside of this move is that it gives back a nice monastery spot, and Webby with a mistake. I mean, he starts a new city, which is not
Good,
bad.
Ahuda.
Yeah, Aruda finishes the city and is looking very, very good. But as Webby, I really like the idea of the invading here. It's not as dangerous as it seems, and especially since Gustavo was threatening to finish his city, kind of Webby really needs a counter threat. Well, now he's gonna get on the scoreboard as well. Gustavo with 14, Webby with 6, but Gustavo with a proud blue farmer on a 6-point field, which is going to turn into something way bigger, and maybe a second farmer by Gustavo.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, now we're
C6.
getting somewhere.
Alexei, let me share with you something. It's very interesting that, as I told you, I'm not playing since November, a single game, even in real life. And it is strange because in the beginning, I was watching the games and it was so distant from my understanding. And I was like, oh my God, it seems like I don't play it since 10 years ago. And now I just watched one game and it seems like the rhythm is coming back and kind of quick. It's super interesting how once Nocebo told me it's like riding a bike, and I didn't believe in him. But I think it is actually. It's something very interesting. Like I think if I come back and play like for a week or a month, things would start to be good again. Because well, we played this so much that it gets kind of natural after a while. So now I can watch the game and I feel like I'm following it again. But in the beginning of the streaming, it was hard. But quickly, it's not hard anymore. It's very interesting, really interesting.
Yeah, it really is. Well, thank you for sharing this insight. For anybody who is, willing to come back to Carcassonne after a long break, this has to be reassuring. This is also something
Wow.
that,
Because
hmm?
you were a lot of years out of Carcassonne, right? I mean,
Yeah,
out of really competitive Carcassonne. You stopped it for a long time, then you came back,
yeah.
and well, you made what you.
Although there's a bit of a difference. When I did come back, I had to learn a lot of new stuff because the game had changed so much. And honestly, like I
Hmm.
feel
Yeah.
even Melvin, oh, no farmer from. Okay, that actually makes sense. No farmer from Gustavo. Gustavo's still doing very well because he has already 2 farmers invested. We're gonna get back to commenting the game in the soon, but just to finish your point that you started, So you may have well been out of touch with reality a little bit as you have moved on to other real life things. But Carcassonne is developing still. Like I feel that the overall level has gone up even in the last half year. Like there's have been new advancements in theory as well.
Hmm.
Um, Speaking of advancements, the position of Gustavo has improved quite a bit as he has the first monastery of the game and he has the scoreboard lead. But Webby's trying to challenge his dominance on the farm and also adds a lot of volatility, namely pre-building this 9-point monastery spot, also known as Evil Hamster. And this is actually a great choice by Webby because it puts a situation, a winning chance of very close to 50%. Like whoever draws this monastery, they're gonna have the advantage after this, and it's really just a waiting game. Maybe Gustavo can have some prophylaxis. Maybe if he gets some sort of a crossroads, he can go over here and meeple this road, so that when a monastery is meepled by somebody, blue gets 5 points compensation. That's something that could be worth thinking about. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
The position just is moving towards opening up. It's moving, towards your classic Latin American, like Spanish, Portuguese speaking type of Carcassonne. New city, quite peacefully started by Webby off screen at the bottom, which I'm gonna fix soon enough. Oh no, that was Gustavo. Webby is dealing right now with a quick point tile, but no way to score quick
I
point
would
tiles.
prefer another move, actually. I think Ahuda could open the city, one spot for the right to make some pressure in the small city by Web, because with Baixo Esquerda or a city cap with crossroad or a Dorito with road, he could make only 50% for Webby to free for freeing a meeple with only 1 point, and one more city in a farm that he is dominating until now. So maybe I know he made it. It's super safe. It's a safe move, but one for the right would be my choice. Facing the city for the right side, making some pressure on Webby's city. Now, okay, now Webby's go. For example, now he could close it and meeple a farm again, or even meeple the next city, and it would be some more pressure to Webby's.
Yep, completely agree. And but the move has been made. It's not a horrible move or anything. And Gustavo is still ahead
No.
on the scoreboard now, 10 points. Webby now gets himself a city cap, but not the kind of city cap that he wants, and no opportunity to score. I strongly dislike the move of Webby that he just made over here with his farm, because now it basically solves all Gustavo's problem with this monastery, which was kind of difficult to build up. Now, all Gustavo needs to do is get a couple of big tiles and try to block the square. And even if he doesn't block the square successfully, red will be forced to build up blue monastery whilst he invades the field, something that blue will take advantage of. But look at this, Webby somehow managed to block this Gustavo's farmer. This is a huge development of this game. I did not see this coming. It looked like this farmer could connect over here, but now this farmer cannot connect anywhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah, great move.
Yeah, and this is so interesting because, like, whenever one farmer is like this, positioned very close to the main field, you just assume that it is connected, and then you're trying to delay that connection because, I can do this later.
Uh-huh.
I can do this later, but apparently you
Yeah.
can't. Well, there's still
It
one.
happens a lot, right?
Yep.
Well, we trust too much in innovation that we just delay it, and to the point we can't do anything about it anymore. It happens so much.
Exactly. And now, like, Gustavo should really rethink his win condition. Maybe he can just relinquish the field and latch onto his scoreboard lead. Or Maybe he can. Yeah, I don't know what he can do, but this meeple is definitely a painful loss. And props for Webby for seeing that blocking opportunity, because again, like, both players can neglect the field at times. Both blue for not connecting, and red, like in red shoes, I might have not even bothered to try blocking it because, he'll connect anyway, but apparently not, he won't. 4 points for Gustavo, and a meeple back. Still the meeple majority, but maybe not for long. 18 points on the scoreboard. Webby with a scoring
We
tile.
still have a dagger, right?
Yeah.
Baixa direita is still available, right? Okay.
The dagger still
Oh,
available for
I'm
that
sorry.
square.
Sometimes I'm saying over your voice, but it's a little bit delayed here. So when I start talking, I didn't notice you already started. So I'm sorry about that, Alexei. Sometimes I'm just saying over you, but it's because of the delaying here in my connection.
This is no problem. I generally consider your insights more valuable than mine, especially how limited the resources are at the moment.
This much, come on.
So, by the way, just for all of y'all who don't know, as the stream got delayed, you might have expected, this was like an extremely spontaneous idea. I just wrote to Melvin, hey, can you stream right now? And I thought Melvin would say no, but Melvin said yes.
Yeah, it's a free day today. It's okay.
Well.
Okay, now Webby can just right? No, he didn't.
Yeah, this is also playing with fire. Like, again, red is now thinking, well, this connection is almost blocked. I can block it later. But.
Yeah.
Like, if you wait too long, Gustavo is just gonna drop the dagger here. It still exists. Like, we're not hallucinating. So now, for example, okay, does Webby block now? No, he does not. He's greedy.
Why didn't invade the farmer and the left side?
That's defo a mistake. Well, Webby's now gonna finish his city at the very least, and
And taking 6 points farm, maybe or not? Maybe not.
Maybe not yet. Because I'm running short on Maple. There's still almost half of the game left to play. Yeah, very wise choice here by the Argentinian. Only -12 now. A curve is drawn by Gustavo. So really limited options to get this farmer in.
Yeah, he can join the farmer, right?
Yes, but it's a question whether he wants to do that. And this is something that's... Yeah, I love this idea by Gustavo.
It's better. Definitely.
Like, this is so instructive, because many players just look, hey, me farm, big farm, me fight big farm, me want big farm, not realizing that it opens all the big farm for re-invasion by Webby later, after maybe Webby finishes his monastery, and it's kind of like a big Pandora's box. But instead, Gustavo, despite his Latin American roots, is exhibiting some Swiss cold alpine precision by saying, I have small field here, two exquisite fields, and you can't do anything about it. You now keep scoring. 5-point road. Webby with a crossroads probably wants to go here and separate the field, but who knows? Any interesting suggestions for Webby here from your side, Melvin? Help out the Argentinian. He needs your help.
I think he just needs to give up. I don't know if it's possible in this tournament, but just concede the game. This is the best option for my friend Webby. But if he doesn't do it, maybe it's better to consider this. I don't know why Webby delayed so much the invasion of the farmer up, making 3 points. He could have done this before, and he's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And now, well,
look at that.
Well, Gustavo, I think Gustavo has a really great advantage now, tying the upfield, and he has another field here down. It's just good.
Yeah.
And well, that's fine because Webby delayed so much things that maybe he's going to lose the farm up.
Actually, you know what? Not necessarily. Because both road monasteries are still in the game.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, one road monastery goes here for 3 points, and the field invasion, and a resulting block of this square which traps the blue meeple. The second monastery goes here for 9 points, and invasion of this square and equalization of the field. But that's not all. Then after that, we get maybe a butterfly tile, and we go over here to continue our city and to score a 7-point road. So this opportunity could be still used by the Argentinian, and that would put him ahead like 15 points. And this is something that Gustavo sees. He's trying to block that square a little bit, given the fact that there are no Doritos with a road remaining. So with something like this, he could permanently block the square. In the meantime, the Brazilian advantage has been reduced to just 8 points, but again, pressure on the clock, so great time management by Gustavo. Webby's 3 minutes behind, and great tile splitter, but not an obvious place to use it. Maybe here? Just adding some more volatility in the game, preparing for another 8-point city, or just here, creating a secondary 9-point field and maybe trying to get a curve that would permanently block this road. Gustavo, with a Dorito tile, probably looking to continue his blocking idea, going over here, shutting down this square, not allowing red to meeple a huge 7-point road that goes through there. Oh yes, Clavier, the I can't lose my farm syndrome is something that we do see quite a lot as well. Well, not in Gustavo's game because he's precise, but one very notable and instructive example happens to be from round 2 of the 2025 Carcassonne Champions League between Gatlux of France and Vladimir Kovalev. So certainly for those of you who are looking to increase your position evaluation skills, you can go ahead and watch that streaming archive. Gustavo's still thinking what to do with this Dorito tile. I would expect that he wants to continue his blocking sequence, but Melvin, do you have any other suggestions?
Yeah, I'm thinking with him. Yeah, it's a good choice, I think. But was considering how dangerous was taking the city down, and it wasn't so dangerous because, well, still okay, okay.
But it's kind of
He can
not
make
necessary, that's the point.
yeah, yeah.
And,
4 3 points and
yeah. Because Gustavo is ahead and he gets now the
and
extra 4 points.
and now Gustavo has a really great chance to just close his his road and taking a new farm of 3-6 now, but 12 points. It's too much.
Yep. He can even do it right now, or he can delay it actually, but I
Well,
think
it's better to delay it. Why we just have one meeple? It's not necessary to. Oh, okay, okay. He can do what he wants.
yeah. He just figures that 12 points is too much. But you know,
Yeah,
despite
then
all that, Webby still actually has chances. So all Webby needs to do is get a monastery, connect over here, and then try to overrun the main field, maybe from here at the top, or here like this, through a barbed wire tile. There are still plenty of options.
now Gustavo takes nah, no. Okay,
No,
he
no,
can
no, no,
just
no, no, no.
protect. Okay, it's
This
not
move by
good.
Gustavo I dislike severely. It's a -3 move. Just don't make -3 moves for no reason. I mean, Webby gets the invasion of the field, he gets the 9 points and so on, but anyway, Gustavo gets a
He
road
was just
back.
yeah.
Gustavo gets a road back. Webby now with a crossroads. Probably could invade the field at the bottom now.
We have two curves yet.
I think so. And one of
Yeah,
them
two
is needed by
curves.
Webby at the bottom. Or you know what Webby could do? He could get himself a barbed wire tile, go over here, drop a farmer, and with the curve bring two farmers in simultaneously, taking over the main field, which is touching 6 cities and scoring 18 points. And I think that actually would be enough for him to win. So as Webby, I think I would have delayed that invasion and tried to go for this here one. But still, Gustavo can actually go here with the tile that he wants and drop a farmer to equalize. So Webby gets a curve, he successfully invades. 5 tiles remaining, Gustavo 5 points ahead. And he's ahead on the farm. Even if Webby invades this 12-point field, he's going to have the 12-point field on the right. Webby has a lovely ruin here, but Gustavo has a meeple to score. This is not over. But it seems that Gustavo should find a way to win this, no?
But even if Web invades, so the farms down, they are equalized. Up, they are tied. So we have these monasteries, and Arruda has 1 point ahead. And then we have the ruin, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 7, 6. Well, Gustavo has one meeple yet, so Gustavo just needs to calm down and don't panic, because he still can win with the advantage of one meeple.
Actually, yeah.
Even if Web invades, even if Web invades down, because equalized, ok, 3, 6, 3, 6, 7. Tem um a mais, vai para 57, tem 6 de diferença. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Web would be winning by 3 points, and Arruda can do 3 points just in many places. And
so the only way Gustavo loses the game is if you just panics with the farm and gets a 0-point farmer. Oh, what a sequence by Gustavo! He calculated the tiles and he got himself a blocking tile. He's gonna block the invasion.
yeah, now he blocked.
That is some sweet, sweet precision, because there are no monasteries remaining. And there are no vanilla city caps remaining, and he's just double checking everything, and he's going to block the farm. And Webby's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah.
going to
Good.
equalize.
Good.
And it has to be
And well, very good
painful.
timing now. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, because Webby was going to go over here, but now he can't. He's now going to go over here, and there's going to be a glimmer of hope for Brazil in this match. I'm purposely not looking at other tables. It is an uphill climb, but the dream is still alive.
What dream are you talking about, Alexei?
The dream of defeating Argentina, of course.
Okay. Is it alive? Really? I'm curious. You said I can't see what's happening, and I'm not. So I'm really.
So whilst it's the observer effect, whilst we're not watching what's happening on the other tables, Brazil is both winning and losing at the same time. And only by
Okay.
watching at the other tables, one of the outcomes is going to occur. So, Gustavo
Okay,
with
so
his
now you can say sorry.
yeah, Gustavo with his cold precision takes this down. We're just gonna watch the whole thing updates and see the score difference. And after that, it's just time to see if there's going to be any more duels remaining. Also, interesting that I think Gustavo would have won even if Webby were to invade the field successfully. Yep, 13 points. So a comeback from Gustavo. And now time to update Carcassonne GG. Is it already GG or not?
Okay,
And yes,
yeah, Argentina won 3-2.
Argentina won because so my
Yeah,
prediction was dead wrong. I like out of all the tables, I was most confident in Nitro. He seemed to be in very good shape, almost managing to achieve the master title, but not quite. And he did lose to Sandy Blader, and Sandy Blader is the one
yeah.
who is gonna give the decisive point to Argentina. The score is actually 3-2. The match is over. Argentina has won. Props to Edson, though, who managed to deliver a comeback win against El Pitufo da Vuelta, but no chance on table 1 and 2, where Big Nacho 610 and Mati Carrizo C have left no chances to Mejuto and Lucas Garpin, respectively. So, Melvin, my commiserations.
Yeah, congratulations, Argentina. You are good. I'm
I'm
very happy for you. So happy.
also very happy for Argentina. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna listen to some Ginastera string quartets after this game. Those of you who are into Argentinian classical music will understand. Anyway, but this is not over. Melvin, if you have time, we have actually another match, China versus Hungary, that we can watch. Do you want to do that? It's up to you.
Oh, I would love, but it's lunchtime and Jenny is waiting for me. I said, no, it's one game, and then we go out. So she's probably ready to go, and I'm still here with my pajamas.
All right, you can just, I mean, this is what
I'm
you wear outside anyway, so.
Thank you very much, Alexei. I
Yeah.
really, really loved the experience of coming back here and just commenting some games. It's so much fun. It's really nice. I'm really happy with your invite. Thank you.
Much appreciated, Melvin. You're certainly making these streams better. Yeah, well, good luck with your
Oh,
non-Carcassonne things. And
thank you, my friend.
yeah, so I'm gonna still continue solo for some 40 minutes or so because China and Hungary are still playing. Yeah, already
Okay.
everybody
So,
wave goodbye emojis to Melvin in the chat. We're now gonna log off.
bye bye. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just thank you. Bye, Melvin. Right, I have turned Melvin off. Let me also remove his text. And we're still going to watch the other match. I wasn't initially planning on showing it, but, you know, if there are games going on, can we ever really stop? Nothing much has happened, really. China is a little bit ahead, as expected. China is going to be a massive favorite against Hungary, despite Hungary finishing much higher last year. Hungary is the reigning bronze medalist, but China, as one of the two world champions alongside with Japan, is going to be close to unbeatable, really. But we're going to watch the Hungarians try. And the table in which I'm most interested is going to be Ruben Kosic versus Mitao Cat. Now, Mitao Cat is ahead against Ruben. So let's see if the Hungarian manages to come back. Okay, how do we do this? First of all, I need to actually adjust the scoreboard a little bit. So just bear with me, bear with me. And then we're going to start new matches. Something like this. And maybe something like this. Yeah, so that we can see all of them. Let's actually put it back. Put it back, 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 back. No, like this. Also, in the meantime, you can let me know what's your second favorite table to watch. Because I doubt that we're going to spend all our energy on Ruben, as there might be slower players who finish their duel later. So let me know of any of your preferences. Also, let me know if you prefer the new scoreboard or the old scoreboard. Yeah, let me just do a little bit of this as well. All right, we should be good. So China, China, China. Elias is saying that Piazzolo is a student of Ginastera. I didn't know that, actually. But it does not surprise me. In classical music, like, all these connections between composers or teachers, everything is intertwined the same way as European royal families are. Oh, look at this. It looks like we are actually getting ourselves a comeback, as Mitao Cat, a very strong Chinese master, is suffering here in the game 2 against Mosipol. The Hungarian has quite the advantage on the scoreboard, which has now diminished somewhat. But still, it appears like the Hungarian is in control. One thing that's going to be important is the field fight. There's quite a sizable field with a red meeple over here. And that's Mitao Cat, and 2 blue meeples of Mosipol. So the invasion at the top has been completed successfully. 4 extra points for Mosipol for the road, and now 2 versus 1 majority on the field. But Mitao Cat now preparing for this curve, hoping to connect a farmer to the field. But I'm surprised that he took 4 points instead of meepling the farm here, because now if red gets the curve, he's just going to equalize the field. But if you were to drop a farmer here, he would sacrifice the points, but he would overrun the field with 3 versus 2 meeples. And with the scoreboard deficit, it appears that red will need to overrun this field in order to win. Unless there's something I'm not understanding. Now, one thing that Red has going for himself is the meeple advantage. He can certainly attack some farms later, and he can also do stuff like this, starting a new city and then maybe trying to finish it and later drop this here farmer, but a curvy tile from Mosipol makes it now much harder for the fields to be unified. One curve remaining in the deck, if I'm not mistaken. And still a lot of things need to happen. Because even with the curve, Ruben's still going to be a little bit ahead. Elias is suggesting Bilal Aferi as our secondary table. Is Bilal Aferi Ning Ding? If somebody knows, then that would be nice to confirm. I think she is. I think she is the 4th place finisher at the 2024 Carcassonne World Championships, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so some quick points for Metalcat. Trying to come back rather desperately. It still should be possible, especially now. As he finishes 8 points for the city, drops 6-point farmer. Now a curve still remaining in the deck for him to try to connect to the big field. Mosipol now with an option to make a savage move here. Instead of taking 3 quick points, what I would do as Ruben, at least what I would consider doing, is going over here and meepling this road. Yes, I think 2 missed points by Mosipol here. Because check this out. If Ruben were to go here, then Metalcat would have connected and given Ruben a meeple back. And Ruben would have 2 more points. And he could still have a meeple to use. So that's a rather devious tactic that remained unnoticed. And now all that the Chinese player is trying to decide is whether it is worth meepling this road, which I think it is. It's not obvious necessarily. Oh, so he did not do it. No, he does it. Huh. He does it. Yeah, and Mosipol can score 3 points for the city cap, or he can score 4 points over here. In order to make the correct decision, he just needs to know what Metalcat has in hand. So actually, he just needs to know whether Metalcat has a city cap in hand or not. So basically, it works like this. If the last remaining tile is a city cap, then it is correct to go over here in order not to allow red to add 3 points to his field. But if the last tile is not a city cap, then it is correct to go over here to score 4 points, because 4 points is more than 3. I believe that blue should still win this, because blue has the monastery up top. Blue has a decent ruin over here for 6 points, and red's road and field should not quite come close enough, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, by a couple of points, Ruben will prevail here. Still 8 minutes to make that decision. Very precise. Yes, so super instructive. He figured out that the best thing that he can do is score the 3 points instead of 4. Because that nets him 2 points advantage, right? So he gets 2 points. Metalcat's going to get 1 point over here, right? So that's a 2 point difference. If Mosipol were to get greedy and score 4 points here, Mitaucat would finish this city and get 3 points for his field, which is a net 1 point game for blue. So with this precise move, Mosipol got himself a net extra point, which I'm not sure is decisive, but you can easily imagine a situation where it could be. By my calculations, which are not necessarily precise, blue should win this by 3 points. Which is surprisingly close. And which also makes me think that this move was the game-losing mistake. If only Mitaucat were to drop this farmer over here, he would overtake a gigantic field of, 6 completed cities and 18 points? Yeah, defo a miss. Miss. 40 seconds from Mitaucat. I don't really think he should be running down his time. I mean, just take the 1 point. Whenever players think like this, I always start being paranoid about my internet connection, but everything seems to be in order, and he does finally make that move. We're going to see the score soon enough. An insincere GG follows from Mitaucat. And it appears that I may have miscalculated by 1 point. So 2 points is going to be the final difference, and Ruben's making a comeback. So this is getting pretty interesting. Can Hungary really have a chance against the mighty China? It appears so. So, scoreboard update. And China has one dual phosphate, who's also an incredibly strong Azul player, is now trying to be a board game polyglot and has already defeated Hungary's Corrallos. Let's have a look in the meantime how Bilal Aferi is doing by popular request. And then we're going to come back to the decider a little bit later. So it looks like this game is about to end, and Bilal Aferi has her opponent severely outrated, but this position is actually fairly equal if we are to use the scoreboard as any metric. So, what are we having? Hungary's playing blue, China is playing red. And extra monasteries for red. This is looking really good. Even though they're never going to be finished, it's still a lot of points. Some quick points for Robil to cut back into the scoreboard deficit. Some extra farmers for Robil though, so this 9-pointer is looking pretty good. And blocked monastery for 8 points, which is almost good enough. This 9-point field in the center is shared. And now it looks like a lot is going to be depending on the cities. There's some threats in the position. Bilal is threatening to finish an 8-point city and get herself a meeple back, and there's still tiles that allow her to do this. But Robil is threatening to draw the last remaining vertical divider and finish 1 and maybe even 2 cities over here for a whopping 16 points and possibly even an extra farmer. So now I guess the main question that the Chinese player needs to ask herself is there any scenario how she can still win this game if Robil gets himself the divider tile? Maybe she can go over here and drop some compensation farmer perhaps, hoping that Robil gets the divider but he cannot drop a farmer, and then maybe Bilal finishes her 8-point city with a different city cap. But what different city cap? That's also another question, because there are no vanillas. I guess both splitters are still in play. The diagonal splitters, yeah. Oh, interesting. So instead, Miss Fairy here chooses to try and invade the bottom 9-point field, which actually makes some sense. Robil is getting some quick points and equalizing himself on the scoreboard, and Bilal gets herself the splitter, and I believe that this could be it for Team China. She thought about it for a few seconds, which honestly I think is kind of insulting. I mean, there wasn't another move that she was going to play, and yeah, now it looks really, really grim, or does it? Robil has one more chance. If he can get himself the last... no, never mind. I didn't notice this extender at first, and I thought that it's possible for him to go here with an extender and then here with a splitter and finish a gigantic 26-point city, but no. This square is permanently blocked, and this coin flip will cost the Hungarian the game. And in all likelihood, Team Hungary the match, because after this loss, and again, Bilal Aferi is just slow rolling. I mean, just invade. What? Okay, this is just rubbing it in unnecessarily. Did she have to do it? I'm kind of surprised. So instead of invading properly, like a Portuguese person would, she instead decides to be patient, and she wants to invade here and here. And there are 2 tiles to do so, so the 2 splitters are going here. There are no Doritos, there are no vanilla city caps, so just 2 splitters that fit into that square, which would give her the majority on this field. And then maybe some other options in this square. Robil is trying to invade the farm at the bottom, I presume. Maybe that's a way to go for him. And just Bilal gets a splitter anyway, so not much really that the Hungarian can do. But I wonder if that invasion was necessary. Now I start wondering, could Robil have won if he were to draw both splitters? And I think the answer is actually yes. because he has some solid ruins over here, and he still had a meeple with which he could score theoretically. So this move seems unnecessarily extravagant to me, and now we see that he's trying to invade the 12-point field, for which he has my massive respect. He's gonna get blocks, it seems, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there are no straight lines remaining. So Bilal can go over here, commit the square to a straight line, and make sure that the last curve, which is still in existence if I'm not mistaken, but I am mistaken, there are no curves. No, there's a curve. What I'm talking about, there's a curve, yeah. So it makes sense for Bilal to go here and try and not allow blue to get a curve and invade, and this is exactly what happens. Blue gets a splitter tile, but too little too late. Gets himself 0 points because he doesn't have any meeples. And Robil will get a curve. But because of this block, he will not be able to invade successfully. Bilal is now getting herself a city tile. Oh, look at this, a straight line. So everybody miscounted. I miscounted. Where's the last curve? Well, I blame Melvin for leaving. It's super lonely to stream without Melvin. It has become so quiet. It's such a deafening silence. And I was relying on his tile counting. So then this move actually made no sense. Yeah, so it appears that everybody miscounting tiles, which is understandable, but Balala is still going to win this by a couple of points. By just 3 points. And quite unfortunate for Robil. Looked like actually a really good fight. I mean, Blue was playing the endgame pretty well, it seemed. He identified his main win condition, which was just drawing the splitter tile, but it did not happen. In any case, congratulations to the 2024 World Championship semi-finalist, and for Team China for coming one step closer to winning this match. So now Hungary needs to win every single game remaining. And then if they do it, they're going to win the match. So let's have a look at how Tilde is playing against Dr. Tsai Han. How's the decider there? "13 minutes ago was the start, so we should be somewhere in the middle game. And this is interesting. So Tilde's ahead on the scoreboard, and it looks like we might have ourselves an upset. And what a move from the Doctor! It's incredibly volatile, so he leaves a chance for a 10-point city to be taken by either player, and he's going to take it. He's going to take the city, which Tilde did not seem to care about. This is so interesting. This is an incredibly volatile position. Like, I can't even begin to make sense of it. So, okay. Tilde's ahead 15 points on the scoreboard and a meeple. This is what I can tell you so far. This also was an excellent move from the Doctor, because what he was trying to do was trying to prevent Tilde from using her newly discovered meeple advantage and trying to invade here. But Tilde is going to do something else. He's going to draw the last monastery that would fit into this square, another crucial square in the position for the Chinese player, because now we know that he's not going to finish this here monastery. This is just huge. The Doctor invades the main field with one meeple. He just needs to get himself one more meeple to complete this here invasion. Tilde's building up her new monastery. The Doctor probably going to go over here, I presume, continue his road Maybe even drop a 6-point farmer. Or maybe as the doctor, it's just better to continue his city and hope for a city cap and finish the city that way. I don't really see him winning this game unless he can find an option to somehow invade the main field with a third meeple, but it's his shut. So 8, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, you know what? It is not crazy for the doctor to go over here, drop a farmer, try to use the last 2 curves to connect here, and then here for a 3 versus 2 majority. He will be sacrificing 2 points because he'll be forced to build up Tildy's city in the process, but that's a 16-point investment for a meeple. Surely there is not much better that he can do. Moreover, before drawing the curves, he could theoretically draw the last remaining crossroads, get a meeple back, and then upon drawing the curve, meeple this 6-point road. Just try to imagine a 6-point road over here. So it appears that the doctor still has some actual chances. But it would require a specific, very specific tile sequence. And Tildy still has a meeple, so she can quite easily score a couple of points and get herself the win. And it seems to me that the only way Tildy loses is that if she makes a mistake. But is she going to make a mistake? I don't think so. She's well experienced, has been on Team Hungary, I believe, since its inception. And she also has 9 minutes on the clock, and then some. So she can get herself perfect tile and point information, and the doctor finds his best move, which I had no doubt he could. Obviously, the doctor is the main character in one of the most viewed videos on my channel, which is about what a spectacular farming move that he made. And look at this. The doctor also got himself a meeple back, but a curve has been drawn by Tildy, which should make it impossible really for the doctor to win. So what can Tildy do? I think just going over here... Oh yeah, this is better. This is better, duh! Just block the invasion and that's it. This should be pretty easy. And she even gets the other curve, so she's gonna have herself the majority on the field and win this like plus 30 or something. The doctor still staying precise until the very end. Meepling a 6-point field so that Tildy cannot do it herself. A last sequence of 2 city points, 2 road points rather, is not going to make a difference, as the Hungarian player is going to come back with a massive, massive upset, defeating a player with a peak rating of over 800. A 5-point city towards the end is indeed her best sequence. It was also possible to take this 4-pointer and add a 1 point to her monastery. For aesthetical reasons, she chooses the city, and now we're going to see what the score difference is actually going to be. 40 points, and Hungary ties the match. So it is all going to come down to the decider between Mosipol and Mitaokat, the battle of the 2 M's. So again, scoreboard updates, just in case. Wait, not here. And then we're going to continue with, where's Mosipol? here. Oh, of course, there's also ITER versus 203 Club. This one we're going to see a little bit later. So what's with Mosapol? Oh, Metalcat won actually very quickly, so China is going to win this match after all. That's kind of anticlimactic, but there's still a game going on between ITER and 203 Club. So let's have a look at that, because tiebreakers also matter. It will make a great difference for the tournament situation if Hungary loses 2 versus 3 instead of 1 versus 4. So decider underway. And this one's also looking pretty good for Team China, so a glimmer of hope for Team Hungary remains just that, a glimmer. Well, let's see if ITER has any chance here. I don't think so, but let's analyze the position in any case. 14 points on the scoreboard is advantage of the Chinese player, and an extra meeple is going to help for sure. He's going to get one more meeple after this road is finished, and it looks like it is close to inevitable as there's a sizable number of curvy tiles still remaining. Moreover, the field situation is not that great. The main field, which covers 5 cities for 15 points, is currently shared. 1 green and 1 red meeple on it, but another green invasion is waiting to happen on the left. It's rather difficult to block that. And there's still 2 curves and 1 road monastery to make this invasion happen. Yeah, so I'm not even sure what to recommend to poor Ether here. So we have to start by drawing the road monastery. And that would be a chance to get 7 points, because we finish this monastery, start a new one, and maybe get a couple of points extra. And then we need to think about the field. What can we do about the field? Well, I see something. It is a bit far-fetched, but again, we have to dream big here. And maybe we can go here with a curve or a straight line and try to invade like this through the 1 remaining starting tile. And the advantage of this invasion is that it would also block this green invasion over here. ITER was building up a road, but it is the Chinese player who unapologetically snagged these 4 points, leaving the Hungarian with some uncomfortable option. Option 1 is just take the 4 points, but it was not the only one. There was also option 2 of going over here and trying to connect to the farm through the road monastery. None of it matters, though, as 203 gets himself the majority on the field, and now ITER will need to not only equalize, but also find a way to drop a 3rd meeple. How does he do it? Well, actually, you know what? I think it's now time to risk. Just double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's still 1 curve remaining, which allows us to do something like going over here, putting a farmer like this, getting a curvy tile, meepling the new 4-point road, finishing an older monastery for 9 points, and invading the field. So that would be a very efficient way of doing things. And then after that, there are some other options. For example, we can reinvade the farm over here. No, we can actually reinvade the farm anyway with a road monastery. That would be our plan. There's also this option of getting a curve and trying to invade through a road Dorito tile, also scoring 4 points for a road. So this is a nice platform as well. Do we have any other platforms? Well, there's also this boring platform, just finishing the city, dropping a farmer, and invading over here. But this is something that the Chinese player will do, as they obviously know as that is a threat. Also, I severely dislike this move by Eater, because remember I told you that one of the chances of him winning this game was going over here and invading, and he blocked himself this opportunity. If he were to take 2 points, he had to take 2 points over here, but in any case, just doing the reinvasion was so much better. And now probably he has to double down on his idea. Well, not on his idea, but just he has to hope for the field. Going over here, wanting to get a road monastery still. As a new city, if appeared on the field, it's now worth 18 points, which is 18 points too many. Again, this move makes sense, but it's just a tad too slow. Starting a new city, hoping to get another city cap and drop a farmer after this. And then the Chinese player, the Chinese captain is trying to type something in the chat, maybe confusing different messaging systems. Eater finishes a monastery, gets himself a road. Still, does not seem to be in a rush to invade that field. 203 club gets himself an 8-point city and another farmer, surely putting the game out of reach. Not mathematically, though, because I can see how Eater could still theoretically invade the field. All he needs to do is get a road monastery, really. But 203 just needs to keep scoring. For example, going over here and dropping yet another farmer looks pretty strong. And the idea is that even if Eater invades, and he's going to have these 2 monasteries, the scoreboard lead of 203 club plus the 12 points on these here farms should be enough to secure him the victory, and this is exactly what happens. Eater now does not get a road monastery, which is super unfortunate for them. Well, are they gonna do anything? Well, they can do something, actually. So they can just keep hoping for the road monastery, and maybe they can just now go here. Meepling this 2-point city and also merging the 2 farmers of green, making sure that green is not scoring for this city twice. So going over here, meepling the city would be a 5-point move for Eater. I don't really see anything better, and this is exactly what happens. Exhibiting some nice precision. 203 with a curvy move, with a curvy tile. Oh, actually, many options. For example, going over here for 3 points makes sense. He could also go here and just for fun, meeple the other side of the field. Basically not allowing Eater to connect here through monastery, although Eater can still go here through road monastery. What is 203 gonna do? He's just simply trying to invade the field, which I presume makes sense. Eater is trying to invade as well. 203 club is going to score points somewhere. I'm not sure what the last tile is. I assume that the Chinese player has it calculated. Oh, is that going to be... Yeah, that's actually rather nice. That is rather nice. That's some precision right there. Yeah, Eater cannot invade. Because if he invades, this will also give the invasion for the green farmer. Yeah, that is neat. Look at that. Bam, bam. And so that's why the best that the Hungarian can do is just to score 1 point for the road, 1 for the first monastery, 1 for the second monastery. And he's going to lose. Oh, wait, no, that was a mistake. Yeah, what Eater should have done is gone over here and scored 6 points. He should have simply brought these two farmers of green into the main field. Barely green does not score twice for these two cities. Congrats is saying Eater. So just 3 points squandered there by Eater towards the end. But still nothing really could be done. 17 point is the difference in this extremely high scoring game. 285 points were scored by the combined effort of the Hungarian and the Chinese players. Surely something that will make it into the weekly curiosities. Anyway, so congratulations to Team China and to Team Argentina earlier on. We're going to update the score just to make it official. Hey, what's that about? Yeah, there we go. So it says that China is winning 3-1. It is actually 3-2 because it typically takes maybe half a minute or so for the results from Board Game Arena to get transferred onto Carcassonne GG. But 4-1, yeah, 4-1 is going to be the final score. So Hungary suffering a loss and not getting the best tiebreakers. Still a lot of games to happen in their group. It is only the first round, so there's no need to speculate on the tournament situation, but I still want to have a brief look at the group situation before leaving. So in Group A, which has mainland China, Hong Kong, Finland, Australia, Catalonia, and Hungary. Yeah, Hungary is suffering quite the loss, but China is the favorite team in the group. And I think the key duels against Hungary is going to be between Hungary, Catalonia, and Hungary, Hong Kong. And if Hungary can manage to damage one of these two teams, then the chances of the Central European team are still looking quite okay. As for Group F, Brazil and Spain off to a rough start with losses. France and Argentina are on top. Vietnam still yet to play again a game. They're starting on game 2. That's enough for today. Well, actually not for today, but for now. In 4 hours, we're meeting again for the evening match, which I'm super excited about. Ukraine against Portugal. Until now, then, go have some lunch and something. And that's it. And of course, meeple the like button and subscribe for more competitive Carcassonne content like this. And thank y'all so much for watching. And I'm gonna see you soon.